Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have unlimited energy while you feel constantly drained? As if there's an invisible leak in your energy system that no amount of coffee, sleep, or supplements can fill? You've been told that recharging your vital energy is complex, requiring meticulous self-care routines, advanced meditation techniques, impeccable nutrition, and almost monastic discipline to maintain your vibrant energy field. But what if I told you that the secret to instant energy recharge is so simple, so fundamental, that practically no one practices it correctly? You are, at this very moment, immersed in a field of infinite energy, a field of quantum potentiality that transcends time and space, an ocean of vitality that knows no scarcity. This field doesn't respond to your desperate efforts to extract energy from it. It responds to your conscious alignment, your receptive openness, your capacity for attunement. And yet most people approach the energy question as a constant battle, trying to force, extract, and accumulate energy as if it were a limited resource. They follow breathing techniques that don't resonate with their system, practice exercises their bodies resist, adopt diets their instincts reject, all while their nervous systems remain locked in fight, flight, or freeze patterns. And it's precisely at this point that the entire system collapses, because in the quantum realm of energy, forcing is resistance, and resistance is energy dissipation. Let's simplify this to something profoundly essential. Quantum energy recharge isn't about acquiring more energy from outside, but about removing the blocks that prevent the natural flow of energy that already exists within and around you. It's not about transforming your external world first, but about realigning your internal state to allow the natural energy current to flow without obstructions. The quantum field contains all energetic possibilities simultaneously: vitality and exhaustion, clarity and confusion, power and stagnation. All these realities exist as probability waves. But here's the crucial revelation. The wave doesn't collapse into your lived experience until it encounters a coherent observer. And that observer is you, your consciousness, your attention, your intention, your receptive openness. These are the sculptors of your energetic reality. However, most people are trapped in a cycle of counterproductive observation. They're constantly monitoring their fatigue, focusing on what they lack, cataloging their limitations, while simultaneously trying to manifest vitality. And in the language of the quantum field, this is contradiction, not coherence. You've been conditioned to chase energy, to seek it as something external to you, something that needs to be conquered or earned. But the true art of energetic regeneration is becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs to chase energy. It's the version that recognizes, I am already intrinsically connected to the infinite source of all energy. The field is awaiting my coherent signal. My function is not to fight harder for energy, but to become a clearer receiver, a more aligned conductor, a more efficient transformer. So why do so few people adopt this approach? Because simplicity is bewildering. Because letting go of control seems counterproductive. Because surrendering to natural flow seems like giving up. But here's the paradox that's rarely discussed. The moment you stop desperately seeking energy, the field can finally deliver it to you in abundance. Think of a moment when you felt inexplicably energized without any conscious effort, perhaps during an inspiring conversation, amidst nature, absorbed in a creative activity, or even in a moment of pure, spontaneous joy. What was the common denominator? You weren't striving, you weren't trying to extract energy. You were simply present, aligned, available, in flow. This is quantum recharge in action, whether you recognize it or not. See, the quantum field doesn't respond to your words. You can repeat affirmations about vitality hundreds of times, but if your body is still transmitting tension, if your breathing is still shallow and restricted, if your nervous system is still operating in energy conservation mode, the field will simply reflect that state back to you. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it's precise in its response to your dominant frequency. So here's the radical shift. Quantum energy recharge begins when you stop focusing on getting energy and start focusing on being energy. You become the signal. You embody the vibration. You allow your state to lead, not your effort. But this raises a fundamental question. What exactly does the quantum field respond to? Is it just thoughts, emotions, beliefs, actions? And how do you align these layers so they don't send contradictory messages? This is where most teachings about vital energy fragment. They focus on just one aspect, usually thoughts or physical techniques, without addressing the deeper coherence of the system as a whole. They tell you to visualize vitality without releasing traumas stored in the body. They advise breathing practices without harmonizing the limiting beliefs that sabotage them. They recommend supplements while your nervous system remains stuck in survival patterns. But the quantum field listens to the complete signal, the integrated embodied signal. And that's why energetic alignment isn't a mental game, but a recalibration of your entire being. Let's dive deeper into the mystery you've only glimpsed so far. The quantum field isn't responding to your desires for more energy. It's responding to your energetic coherence. At its core, quantum recharge isn't just about thoughts, nor just about emotions, nor just about isolated physical practices. It's about how these three aspects align into a coherent signal that the field can read without interference. Think of the quantum field as a cosmic translator. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned regarding energy, the message is clear, the vibration is stable, and the field responds almost instantly. But when you're thinking about energy abundance, feeling exhaustion, and acting frantically, the message becomes distorted. The field mirrors back not clarity, but chaos. This is where the observer effect comes in, a fundamental principle of quantum physics. At the quantum level, particles exist in a state of pure possibility, what we call the wave function. But when an observer, you, focuses on a particular possibility, that wave collapses into a fixed event. Reality solidifies, choices crystallize, the invisible becomes visible. But here's the crucial point. The observer isn't just your conscious mind. The observer is also your subconscious, your body, your heart's electromagnetic field. This means that even if you consciously desire vitality, if your subconscious is programmed for energy scarcity, if your body is habituated to exhaustion, if your heart field is emitting survival signals, the field will pick up that hidden transmission. Your subconscious becomes the true observer, collapsing a timeline you didn't consciously choose. This is why so many people feel energetically stagnant. They're only aligning the surface mind, ignoring the deep programs running underneath. And in the quantum game of energy, the subconscious always prevails. But the story gets even more fascinating. Advanced research has shown that the heart generates its own electromagnetic field, much more powerful than that of the brain. This heart field radiates outward and interacts with the larger quantum field around you. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you're sending a powerful unified signal. When they're desynchronized, the signal becomes weak and fragmented. This is why trying to recharge your energy with your mind alone so often fails. Without the emotional component, without the embodied feeling of alignment, the quantum field doesn't receive a clear signal to mirror back. And this is where most people miss the mark. They want to think their way to vitality, when they actually need to feel their way to energetic alignment. You can't simply tell the field what you want. You need to become a vibrational match for it. This means tuning your body, your breathing, your nervous system, your beliefs, your daily choices into harmony. It's not a one-time ritual. It's a living practice. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine you want to manifest more vital energy. You can write affirmations, create vision boards, imagine yourself vibrant and full of vitality. But if deep down you're carrying the weight of belief in energy scarcity, if your nervous system is programmed to conserve energy due to past traumas, if your heart is armored and unable to fully receive, the quantum field senses that tension. It picks up the contradiction, and what you get back is more of the same struggle, more frustrated attempts, more techniques that work temporarily before you return to your energetic starting point. It's not that the universe is punishing you, it's that it's perfectly mirroring your dominant frequency. So what's the shift? The shift is to coherence, to feeling complete now, to practicing the emotions of what you desire before it manifests externally, to embodying the state of already possessing abundant vitality so the field can collapse that timeline into form. You become the frequency first, and form follows. Now this might seem like a lot, but here's the simple and profound truth. The more you abandon control of the outcome and focus more on regulating your internal state, the faster the quantum field responds. This is why the title of this video says it's simple, though almost no one does it, because the human mind loves to complicate. We want 10 steps, 5 shortcuts, a guaranteed formula. But the quantum field isn't a machine, it's a mirror. It's a dance partner. It's alive, responsive, intelligent, and it's waiting for you to meet it with embodied and stable presence. So, I want to invite you to this practice. Breathe deeply right now. Notice how your body feels as you listen. Note where you're holding tension. Note the stories running in the background of your mind, and just for a moment soften. Let the grip loosen. Let the need to fix, force, and figure everything out dissolve. Feel what it's like to be right here now, without needing anything to change. This is where your power begins. Before we continue, I want to invite you to something that helps anchor this shift. If you're feeling a spark of recognition, if something inside you is lighting up right now, hit the subscribe button. Join this space, this conversation, this community of conscious observers who are rewriting the rules of energetic reality. And in the comments, share one word, just one, that names the energy you want to embody this week. Maybe it's flow, maybe it's abundance, maybe it's presence. Whatever comes first for you, that's your signal. Share it, name it, allow it to become real. Because the moment you name it, you begin to align with it. Are you ready to explore why almost no one talks about this part of energy recharge? The part that's so simple it almost seems like cheating? Let's dive into the next layer. Why is it that almost no one actually practices this? Why, with all the books, courses, and endless videos about vital energy and energy recharge, do so many people remain stagnant, frustrated, and disappointed? The answer is simple and simultaneously uncomfortable, because letting go of control feels unnatural. The human mind is addicted to control. We've been conditioned to believe that the harder we try, the more we deserve. That struggle equals worth. That the harder we work, the more likely we are to succeed. So when we encounter a system like quantum energy recharge, where the central key is coherence, alignment, and surrender, it short-circuits our programming. We keep trying to force results, even though forcing is the very frequency that tells the field we don't trust the process. Let's break this down. Most people who fail at energy recharge are trapped in what I call the control trap. They're constantly monitoring their energy levels. They visualize vitality but obsessively check if they're feeling tired. They affirm energy abundance but analyze every symptom of fatigue. They declare vibrant health but scan their body for signs of exhaustion every morning. In doing so, they send a signal of distrust to the field. They're affirming one thing consciously but transmitting the opposite subconsciously. Why does this matter so much? Because the quantum field doesn't speak Portuguese, or English, or any human language. It speaks the language of energy, and energy never lies. You can say all the right words, but if your nervous system is preparing for exhaustion, if your mind is stuck in cycles of doubt, if your body is flooded with cortisol, the field listens to that deeper frequency. This is why so many people are exhausted. They're doing all the things, but they're doing them from a place of hypervigilance, scarcity, and lack, and so they get stuck in a cycle. They manifest more waiting, more lack, more effort, more seeking, because energetically, they're not in the timeline of already possessing abundant vitality, they're in the timeline of trying to get energy. And here's where it gets even more subtle. The subconscious mind runs about 95% of your life. It's the autopilot that shapes your habits, beliefs, emotional reactions, and sense of identity. You can consciously desire an energy revolution, but if your subconscious is anchored in old stories, I always feel tired, my energy is never enough, I have to fight for every drop of vitality, those stories will collapse the wave into the same old experiences. This is why affirmations without embodiment feel empty. This is why visualizations without nervous system regulation collapse. This is why action without aligned identity leads to burnout. So what can you do? First, you must understand that quantum energy recharge isn't an add-on to your life. It's a recalibration of your entire system. It's a remembering, a returning. It's about becoming the version of you that lives within the timeline of abundant vitality before seeing evidence of that timeline in your external world. For example, if you want to manifest energy abundance, practice feeling energetically abundant now, not later, not when the symptoms of fatigue disappear, but now. Treat yourself with generosity, presence, and care. Abandon micromanaging the outcome and focus on embodying the signal of trust. If you want radiant vitality, practice loving your body right now. Open your heart. Soften your edges. Become the kind of being that naturally attracts and conducts vital energy. Stop seeking external validation and start living as if you're already enough. Because you are. If you want vibrant health, stop scanning your body looking for what's wrong and start nurturing what's right. Shift from survival mode to resilience mode. Practice gratitude for the body you have while gently guiding it toward greater vitality. And here's the paradox. When you stop needing energy so desperately, it arrives more quickly. Not because the universe is testing you or playing games, but because you're no longer the resistance. So let me ask you, where in your life are you still holding the steering wheel with white-knuckled tension? Where are you still measuring, tracking, forcing, and chasing energy? What would happen if you loosened your grip by just 10%? Pause with that for a moment. This isn't about passivity. It's about shifting from control to co-creation. And that shift, subtle, powerful, revolutionary, is where quantum energy recharge really begins to work. In the next part, we'll talk about the simple but rarely practiced techniques that can help you realign your system, regulate your state, and become the clearest signal possible for the quantum field. We'll explore how to dissolve resistance without bypassing your real emotions, how to build trust with your subconscious, and how to step into the timeline of abundant vitality as if it were already yours. So here's my question for you to reflect on before we move forward. Where in your life are you gripping so tightly that you've become the very blockage you're trying to remove? Here we are, at the edge of the most powerful truth in quantum energy recharge, the part that almost no one mentions, the part hidden in plain sight. It's this: you don't manifest the energy you want, you manifest the energy you are. This isn't just a beautiful idea. It's a fundamental principle that shapes how the quantum field interacts with you. The field doesn't respond to your words, your vision boards, or your perfect affirmations. It responds to the signal of your being, the vibrational signature you carry into every environment, every thought, every interaction. And that signal is built moment by moment, not in what you're doing, but in how you're being. Let me explain this with a metaphor. Imagine you're a radio. If you want to hear classical music, you don't sit there demanding classical music from the universe while remaining tuned to a heavy metal station. You need to change the dial. You need to tune your frequency to match what you want to receive. Quantum energy recharge works the same way. You can't attract the timeline of abundant vitality while vibrating at the frequency of the timeline you're trying to leave behind. So how do you change the dial? You begin by becoming aware of your current frequency. Not just what you think, but how you feel, how your body moves throughout the day, how you breathe when you're stressed. What stories loop in the background of your mind? Most of us aren't manifesting energy deliberately. We're manifesting on autopilot, recycling the same states, the same reactions, the same energetic transmissions, and the field faithfully mirrors this back to us. The shift begins when you interrupt the pattern, not with brute force, not with frantic effort, but with simple embodied practices. It can be as subtle as taking a conscious breath in a moment of anxiety, as gentle as placing a hand over your heart when you're spiraling in self-doubt, as bold as asking yourself, what would the version of me who already possesses abundant vitality do now? And then taking a small action from that place. Because here's what no one tells you. The quantum field doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to be coherent. Coherence happens when your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction. It's when you stop saying one thing, feeling another, and doing something completely different. It's when your entire system vibrates with a single unified signal. And when you achieve that state, even briefly, you create a kind of gravitational attraction in the field. Reality begins to bend in your direction. But let's be practical. If you want to embody abundant vitality, practice generosity. Not just with resources, but with attention, with time, with energy. Train your nervous system to feel the sensations of, I have enough energy, even if the external signs of fatigue haven't completely disappeared yet. If you want to embody radiant health, practice vulnerability. Open your heart in small, brave ways. Be the safe space you long to find. If you want to embody sustainable vitality, practice presence. Listen to your body. Feed it. Move it. Rest it from a place of respect, not punishment. This is the simple path, and yet few follow it, because it asks you to go first, to become the frequency before the evidence arrives, to lead with being, not with needing. And this brings us to one of the most misunderstood pieces in the entire conversation about vital energy: emotional regulation. People assume that energy manifestation is about feeling good all the time. It's not. It's about feeling real all the time and learning to bring your system back to alignment when you wobble. This means welcoming your emotions, not bypassing them. It means creating space for fear without letting it drive the car. It means practicing emotional fluency so you can navigate the waves without drowning in them. Here's the truth. You're going to wobble. You're going to doubt. You'll have days when the old timeline pulls at your heels. That's okay. The power isn't in never falling, it's in how you return. So here's my invitation to you right now. Breathe. Notice where you are. Ask yourself, what timeline am I tuned into in this moment? Is it energy scarcity or vital abundance? Is it fear or trust? Is it waiting or arriving? Without judgment, just noticing. Because the moment you notice, you create a choice point. And choice is the portal to coherence. Energy manifestation isn't a performance, it's a practice. It's not something you master once. It's something you live moment by moment, choice by choice. So many people get stuck in the mentality that energy recharge is about doing more, hacking the system, perfecting the formula. But actually, the most powerful energy manifestors aren't those who know more techniques. They're those who've learned to maintain a coherent state, to regulate themselves back to alignment when life inevitably shakes them. Because here's the reality. You will face moments that test you. There will be days when fear creeps back in, when old patterns whisper in your ear, when the timeline you're trying to leave seems to be pulling you back. And in those moments, you'll be tempted to go back into control mode. Push, force, micromanage. But true mastery is this. Can you stay in the frequency of trust even when the evidence hasn't arrived yet? Can you maintain the vibration of "it's already done" while the world still looks the same? Can you become so anchored in the new timeline that the old one no longer seduces you? This is where embodiment becomes non-negotiable. So let's make this practical. Every morning before checking your phone, breathe a few times and ask yourself, what frequency am I tuning into today? Is it scarcity or energy abundance, fear or trust, control or flow? Throughout the day, use your body as your compass. Your body will tell you when you've moved out of alignment. You'll feel the tension, the tightness, the contraction. And in that moment, you don't need to shame yourself or spiral. You just need to notice, breathe, and recalibrate. Ask, what would the version of me living in my desired timeline choose now? Then take a small action from that place. And at night, before falling asleep, review the day, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Where did you wobble? Where did you align? Where did you glimpse your own power? Gratitude amplifies coherence. Acknowledge even the smallest victories. Now here's something most people miss. Community matters. We're social and energetic beings. We co-regulate with the people around us. When you surround yourself with others who are practicing coherence, who are playing in the quantum field, who are committed to embodiment, your system tunes into that vibration. This is why it's so important to curate your environment, not just physically but energetically. Find the voices, the spaces, the communities that remind you of who you're becoming. Let your external world become an ally to your internal practice. And remember this, there's no finish line. The point isn't to arrive and then stop. The point is to live within a continuous unfolding, where you become the living edge of your own evolution, where you don't just manifest energy, but become someone who lives as a creator, a co-creator, a conscious participant in shaping energetic reality. Because here's the most beautiful part. The quantum field isn't separate from you. It's not something you manipulate from a distance. It's something you're entangled with. You are the field. You are the wave. You are the observer and the observed. So when you tune your frequency, you're not just asking life to meet you. You're becoming the version of life you've been seeking. I want to leave you with this invitation. In the comments, leave a word that captures the energy you're choosing to carry forward after this video. Maybe it's alignment. Maybe it's flow. Maybe it's power. Maybe it's something uniquely yours. Let that word be a small but profound declaration. A quantum seed that you plant not just in this space but in yourself. And if this video awakened something within you, if you felt a shift, a remembering, a spark, I warmly invite you to subscribe. This isn't just a channel, it's a living space, a meeting point for those ready to step into their own creative power. When you hit the subscribe button, you're not just joining a list, you're joining a movement of minds and hearts reshaping what's possible. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for your presence, your attention, your energy. You're not just a viewer, you're a participant in this unfolding. Keep tuning, keep aligning, keep playing in the field.